Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Tripp, and welcome to another episode of the Game According to Me. Episode number 23. We got a lot to talk about. We had the NBA draft last week. Some very interesting picks happening in the NFL draft. We've had the NBA draft, excuse me. We don't have a lot of much stuff going on in the NFL as most teams had their camps a while ago, and they have decided and they have let go. So they're kind of on their summer break now. So although I guess you could say that we've had some stuff about the Tyreek Hill stuff, the NFL investigators had a conversation with Tyreek Hill this week. So we may hear something about that before the season starts, whether or not Tyreek Hill is going to be suspended for his off-season activities, I guess you could say, because it was earlier this year um, they talked about the there was some allegations that he had maybe possibly broken his child's arm. And I think what happened was I just think so there was no proof of it. There was proof that he broke his arm, but there was no proof that it was done by another human being. So there was no charges filed. So, but then there was like these messages that happened where they decided to put out where he kind of said something threatening to his child's mother, where he said that then he said something to the point to, "Are you scared of me?" Well, you should be, and that's not good. That's not something that you want to say is somebody else, especially someone, the mother of your child. So that's not a really, really cool thing. So we'll see what happens with Tyreek Hill. But otherwise than that, there really hasn't been any big NFL news. So we'll have to wait and see what comes of that. In Major League Baseball, they tried something new this year. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but um, they tried something where it was almost like it was kind of like an election where they had a vote. I think they had a vote for a couple weeks, or maybe even longer, maybe about a month, where they decided to have the All Star voting, and then they stopped, and then they stopped it, and they went to the top nine. Um, or top three, to the top nine outfielders was top three in all of the other positions, and then they got the opportunity to vote. We got to re-vote on those positions, and I thought that was kind of an interesting theory to do. I really did. I thought maybe it was something there. It was something where you could see that and go, "Wow, okay, that's something new to try and do." And let me give you those real quick. Um, we'll start with we'll go by position, and we'll talk about each and every person. The catcher was Gary Sanchez from the New York Yankees. This is his first All Star game start. From the NL, the catcher was Wilson Contreras from my Chicago Cubs. This is his second All Star game start. At first base, from the AL, it was Carlos Santana from the Cleveland Indians, his first start. From the NL, Freddie Freeman of the Braves, his second start. Second base, DJ LeMahieu from the Yankees, his second start. And from the NL, Ketel Marte from the Diamondbacks, this is his first start. At third base, and in the AL, Alex Bregman, the Astros, this is his first start. And from the Rockies in the NL, Nolan Arenado. This is his third start. At shortstop is Jorge Polanco from the Twins. This is his first start, his first All-Star game, period. And from the NL, it's Javi Baez. Yeah, from my Cubs. Javi's becoming the face of the team and become the face, might even be the face of the National League. And this is his second start, his second straight start. In the outfield for the American League, we have Mike Trout, of course. This is his seventh All-Star game start. George Springer of the Astros is his second start. And Michael Brantley of the Astros, this is his first start. In the National League, we got Christian Yelich. This is his first start. He's had a massive year. Another person who's had a massive year. He looks to be the front runner for the MVP, Cody Bellinger. This is his first start. And we got Ronald Acuna of the Los Angeles Braves. No, of the Atlanta Braves. This is his first start. So, and the designated hitter for the AL was Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence is what I said. Hunter Pence of the Texas Rangers. This is his first All-Star game start. So we'll see. Although a right groin strain sent him to the injured list on June 17th, but he could be ready before the All-Star game comes out. So we will have to see. So yeah, there will be the manager of the National League who is the Dodgers thing, because they do the thing where the manager of the NL team and AL team with the World Series is the manager for the baseball All Star game. So and that's the Dodgers. Um, I forget his name now, but he will name it and designate the hitter. Voters do not vote on that. So, and I thought it was. I thought it was a very interesting try. I really do like it. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this continues on over the next several years. If they do this, so and it might even come to the point to where the Major League Baseball they may try to do what baseball has done, but the next when hockey is done, they may do the thing where it's not NL versus AL, but it's like a schoolyard pick where what the happen is they just may vote and you may do this vote and you may vote for the top three in each category. They will make I don't know if you can do that. What you would do is you would vote for maybe like the top six in each category. Top six in each category. Those would be the ones that would make it to the All Star game, and then you would have then maybe you would have like a schoolyard pick of the highest vote getters, just like that, and then you would have them. Then they would choose, or the manager could choose. Who knows? But I think that would be something that would be good. So yeah, like I said, that was Major League Baseball. Um, we'll get to the draft. The draft is probably the main event so far. The U.S. women's soccer team has been kicking ass and taking names, so that's good for them. They won yesterday. They beat France 2-1. So they continue on in the World Cup, and we'll see where they would end up. Um, I'm not a big soccer guy, and I haven't watched any of the games, but I have been keeping up with them, and so we'll see what happens when it comes down to uh, what they're going to be and what they're going to doing. Everybody thinks that they have a great shot at winning, and specifically if they kind of need to win, especially if they really want to get. Apparently, if they really want to get they're saying because right now they're kind of suing. I forget who they're suing, but they're trying to sue to try to get equal pay because they're getting paid less than the men, and they are way much better than the men. So um, so they are trying to definitely um, get those things that everybody was trying to get equal pay. So and we'll have to see. And a lot of people are saying that they need to win. They need to win the World Cup to even prove their point even more that that they deserve equal pay. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. All right, and well, no, I should say finally, because this is a podcast about sports and wrestling. Um, so we'll talk a little bit of wrestling. Um, I think we had Stomping Grounds on Saturday. It was a great pay per view. I would go to my YouTube channel and watch my rapid reaction of it. The link down in the description box below. In fact, all my links will be down in the description box below. So make sure you go there and you get it. Um, so yeah, Raw was good. SmackDown was good. Although it seemed like there has really had some really bad attendance this week, some really bad attendance, and that's that doesn't look too good. But then also then again, I say this: like if if it's time for WWE to stop running the big arenas for just for a regular show, then that's totally fine. Then run the show that is run the venue that seats 4,000. Run the show run this thing that seats 4,000, but that you know but that you are gonna have a crowd, crowd, so that you can do stuff too, because you can't do a lot of stuff too, because if the hard camera side is they made some people made some good thoughts that basically they're talking to the hard camera and it's just nobody's there. You're talking to nobody, and that's got to be like a horrible feeling for the wrestlers who go out there and they you know they're not some outlaw mud show, as Jim Cornette would say. This is the WWE, and so it's kind of a shame. And but I think the two biggest stories are the fact that Seth Rollins has stepped up as Universal Champion. He stepped up and he has started to defend the WWE against all of the numbskulls that say that it's bad right now, and I love it. I love it, and he's taking him to task. He's taking his friend John Moxley to task, which is good. And you should, because this is the company that made him. And he quickly pissed everything away he said in that podcast. He quickly pissed everything away by saying, "Well, WWE made me who they was and everything like that, but now let's bury him for 2 hours." Well, no, that's no, that's you don't do that. If they made you who you are, if the WWE is the reason why you are now, doing what you want to do in AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, then you need to go ahead and you need to just, do that, and you need to be that. But you don't need to be some, you know, you don't need to be some, you know, almost like whistleblower or anything like that. So I don't know. So, but and the other biggest news is that Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman were announced as going to be the executive directors of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. And this shocked the world. This completely shocked the world. Nobody was expecting this. Nobody thought, oh my God, this is going to be, we're going to see, and they're not supposed to be on-screen characters. Although with this company, they are, and listen, in particular, I don't particularly care. Just don't make them heels. Do not make them heels. Like Shane McMahon, don't make them heels. You know, if they need to be the person that need that to be the on-screen person to book this match, then let them be there to book the match. But don't, or they need to be the one to say, or to have Tom Phillips or um, Michael Cole say, well, executive director Paul Heyman has booked this match, and it's happening next on Raw, or whatever. You know, so no, but it's no reason to have to be, you know, have them be heels. But we'll have to see. I did a video about that too. My weekly episode of wrestling called "That's a Shoot" on YouTube. Once again, check the link in the description box down below, and you can check that out. Um, so yeah, so let's get to the big story that happened in the last couple of weeks, and that was the NBA draft, and there's a couple of shocks, but seemingly the draft seemingly went down the line. It was definitely some draft day trades, um, that happened with the Hawks moving up to 4, and then the Suns uh, trading the Timberwolves and things like that. So um, let's quickly go through this. We've got the Pelicans. Of course, they drafted Zion Williamson #1. That was a no-brainer. That was the worst kept secret in the world. But I don't think there was a secret. I think pretty much David Griffin said it when he won the draft lottery. #2 was the Memphis Grizzlies. They drafted Ja Morant, point guard from Murray State, who was really just, he really came on throughout the season. #3, the Knicks drafted R.J. Barrett out of North Duke as well. The Lakers, for the Atlanta Hawks, they drafted DeAndre Hunter. The Cavaliers drafted Darius Garland. The Suns drafted Jared Culver, and this is that's going to the Timberwolves. The Bulls, my Bulls, drafted Kobe White from North Carolina. I think that's a good fast point guard that could be, could really, be the future. The Hawks, this is the New Orleans Pelicans. They drafted Jackson Hayes. The Wizards drafted Rui Hachimura. The Hawks then drafted Cam Reddish for themselves. The Timberwolves, who drafted this for the Suns, drafted Cameron Johnson. Now this seemed to be the big surprise, as Cam Johnson is a great shooter, but he was not particularly expected to go that far high, and so there was a lot of people who felt that the Suns reached on that pick. But we'll have to wait and see. He could be the star. He could be the next star. He could be the next Klay Thompson. So we'll have to wait and see. And then there was definitely some other draft picks and other trades. But I think we go down here to uh, 25, Nasir Little from North Carolina. He was drafted by the Trailblazers, and there's a lot of people talking about they could not believe how far he fell, in the draft, and you just you couldn't believe that Nasir Little fell to 25th, and he could also be another steal for the Trailblazers, and that's another wing that they have out there on the court who can score, who can get to the basket, who can shoot the three. So Portland he's just going to get better and better. So um, then we have then we get some other people. Um, Carson Edwards, who was a big a big thing for the in the March Madness for Purdue. He was drafted by the Sixers, but then he was traded to the Celtics. Um, And what seemingly was the big thing was that Bo, who was a lot of people had being maybe a top 15 pick, a lottery pick for sure, fell all the way to the 44th pick to the Miami Heat, who then traded him to the Nuggets. But Bo, and he's the son of Manute Bol, and a lot of people they just could not believe how quickly he fell. He's had injury problems this past season, but people could not believe how far he fell. So that was probably the biggest surprise out of everything um, on the night. So yeah, I mean, really, it was the drafts are always a kind of an interesting point of Jesus Christ, I can't talk. It's always interesting to see what happens with these drafts, whether it be the NBA draft or the NFL draft. The NFL draft is more interesting, I would think. Um, is more, but the NBA draft could be just as interesting. It can have just as much drama too. All of the trades, who never knows who trade. That's it can be so interesting to see what happens with the NBA draft. So we will see what happens, what comes of these picks, and I will certainly do a episode of where I would give my NBA picks. If it may coincide with my podcast. It's definitely gonna be on my YouTube channel. Once again, link is down in the description box below. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is going to be it for this week. Um, so we'll see what happens in a couple weeks, or something like that. I may be grasping at straws next week because a lot of things don't need to, a lot of things necessarily are not, big things. It's kind of a strange time in the world as we start to get into the. We may talk about the ESPYs. The ESPYs are going to be, but the ESPYs be, yeah, actually the ESPYs would be, the ESPYs would have happened. Well, we'll just see. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks when episode 2024 happens. So, thank you guys so much for listening. This is your boy, AJ Trip, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.